If you could distill it down to one thing, what do you think is the single barrier that keeps singing actors stuck, frustrated, and low grade hopeless? What is one unpopular truth that, if you lived it, would change your skill trajectory, bolster your artistic confidence, and make your work wholehearted, satisfying, and successful? I made a commitment to make regular videos and write regular emails because every time I do, someone replies or comments, "Thank you. This helped me so much." And if I know the thing that I'm doing, number one, resonates with what I'm on the planet to do, and number two, will help one other person, then I am going to do it. But I'll sit down to shoot the video or write the email or reach out to folks about the community I'm building, and I will freeze like a possum in high beams on a North Carolina back road at midnight. There is an animal instinct that grips me and tries to keep me from moving forward into satisfaction, purpose, and joy. And I've been looking at what this is all about, and I have found some important things about how you can activate yourself so that you don't roll over frozen in front of that oncoming Chevy truck like the aforementioned North Carolinian marsupial. But first, it's important to ask what you probably already asked yourself when you read the title of this video. What exactly do you mean by success? Success! Making it, booked and blessed, working actor, Broadway! Okay, for real though, this year a grad student asked me in class what my definition of success was. And for that answer, I zoomed ahead, hopefully, a good 40 plus years and asked near end of life me. So near nonagenarian Dan reported back that a successful life would be one in which I love people well, I love my wife, I love my boys, and I brought joy where I went. 90-year-old Dan also said that if I could leave behind a legacy of healing and fun from the things I got to teach, then A+. And if I were able to leave some plays and songs that would continue to move people, then icing on the cake. Of course, I got emotional talking about it in class because that moment focused what was most important. How could I use my life as a magnifying glass for love? How could I boost the photon beams that make the world better? If I work in light of that goal, my work changes. So I have an intention that lifts me up, gives me an elevated view, and most importantly, reminds me what I do can affect you. If my actions can make your life better, that's a reward. And ask yourself the same. Who has made a difference in your life? And what if they had chosen not to contribute in that way for whatever reason? You know, I am a big, or you may not know, but I'm a big Tabitha Brown fan. I will listen to interviews with her just for an inspiration refresher. And the thing I admire most about her is her commitment to live in harmony with her spirit's purpose. Her clarity is so refreshing, and when you're surrounded by so much noise telling you the 7 keys to beating 99% of your TikTok enemies, it's nice. But what if Tabitha Brown had decided not to listen when God told her just to start making videos? All the advice around her told her no one would take her seriously as an actor if she did that, but she listened and stepped ahead, and then she was consistent when no one was watching. What if she never started or stopped when the outcome wasn't what she expected? You're someone else's Tabitha Brown. The things you've overcome, the ways you figured out how to navigate through, those are going to make a huge difference to someone else. I see a t-shirt idea. I'm someone's Tabitha Brown. Yeah. But get clear on what success means to you. And when it is clear, write it down every morning. Seriously, write it down because we forget. Make a little box in your journal or on your calendar where you remind yourself. It seems silly because you're like, how can I forget my dreams and what success means? But one stray post on Instagram that pisses you off and you can get derailed faster than you can say, get ready with me. Now that you've reminded yourself what success and satisfaction look like for you, what is this unpopular truth that holds you and me back? Why is it unpopular, and why do you even need to know what it is in the first place? Well, let me tell you a story about it. You know how I told you about my possum pose? Well, I'll sit down and I'll be fixing to get a video in the can and then utter freeze. It's like the neuron trees I mapped when I was getting ruthlessly bullied in 7th grade go into hyperdrive and say, stay hidden, don't expose yourself. I'm sitting there, a 46-year-old man, and all of a sudden I'm afraid the country club rednecks in the center of the schoolyard are going to hurl slurs at me and challenge me to a fight behind the tire recapping shop. That's where all the junior high fights went down. I mean, seventh grade was one particularly focused swath of intensified bullying. Other incidents of epithets, taunts, and various levels of physical threat popped up throughout my growing up, but my brain remembers it and wants no part of it again. Just stay hidden. Don't put yourself forward in the school assembly or be the only boy in the seventh grade PE gymnastics demonstration. Keep your head down, lay low, and you won't get hurt. In my adult life, this fear got rezapped by nasty online comments or reviews, snide remarks, and Broadway World chat rooms I overheard castmates scuttlebutting about, and the odd, ruthless student assessment. I still get an elevated heart rate when my student assessments pop up in the inbox. Why would I subject myself to this? Well, on a recent video I posted, I opened with a story after dinner time. I happened to be seated at the table, and my wife Melissa happened to be loading the dishwasher. I mentioned that my dishwasher loading style is suspect and that I usually take the lead on putting the dishes away in the morning, an activity my wifey finds very hot. So the first comment I received on this particular video was from a very angry viewer who said, "OMG, I can't even watch past 32 seconds," and proceeded to tell me I was a glaring example of male privilege, my content was worthless, that I should get off YouTube and work on my life and marriage. After 32 seconds, I wonder how long it took them to craft the comment, but it's pretty stunning to have your entire character assessed in the space of one snapshot from your life, and it made me reflect on the times when I might do the same. It hurt my feelings. It made my heart rate jump. It spiked my cortisol. I thought about it more than I wanted to, and I cooked up many snarky replies, comebacks, and takedowns, though I did manage not to reply. But the thing it showed me was I was afraid of what comments or nastiness might come flying at me from the far reaches of the interwebs, and nastiness indeed flew my way, along with a video thumbs down. And then I realized, well, that sucked. And I made it. I made it through that bit of unpleasantness, that morsel of discomfort. And then I noticed there were a few likes on the video, so someone got value out of it. Mission accomplished. I did the thing. So that's the first thing you need to know. You cannot predict the shenanigans that are going to fly your way. It'll always be a surprise. And you need to know that you can take the hit. Chumbawamba was right. You can get knocked down, and you will get back up again. And on you go. You may be angry, hurt, sad, sore, bruised for a while, but you're going to keep walking. And maybe you'll even let that hurting soul's vitriol throw some dry, rotten wood on your fire, stoke it, and double down on what you know you're meant to do and to share. And do it. But there's a reason a truth as painfully obvious as this is super unpopular. It is to me, at least. I started this project to write a WHID page. WHID stands for What Have I Done? In order to illuminate what exactly I'm spending my time on. Mind you, I've only made it to about 9:47 a.m. before I've totally abandoned the tracking of my time. But the tiny bit of morning I documented was ample evidence of how good I am at putting off the work that's meaningful to me. It might be me writing an email to you. It might be this video. But if I check my journal, I'll see that before I really got to work on writing, I read about an online course that would unlock the blueprint I need to avoid all possible failure in my business future. Or checked email, checked another email account, went to Facebook to find a message only to be sucked into an involuntary scroll, checked on another online course I'd bought to see if it was still something I wanted to do, drank coffee, read a news article, emptied the dishwasher, and watched a couple of YouTube videos. Then I wrote one paragraph of my email, and then it was time to get dressed and get to the train station. I will do anything to delay the risk of failure. Even though I enjoy writing and I trust I'll find my way, even though I have tons of experience writing doo-doo first drafts and then going back to revise, it's still painful and scary to think I may run face first into a lack of skill and I won't be able to figure it out. I'll sit down to write a scene for the play I'm working on and I won't know how to connect A to B. I won't be able to put something on paper that matches the vision of a transcendent experience in an intimate theater I've fantasized about. So it's easier just to see vague impressions of the dream and say, someday that will happen. We don't want to know we can take the hit because we are so busy trying to figure out how to avoid all hits. You can't avoid them. They are coming. Last weekend, I turned around in the empty parking lot of the New Haven IKEA. We had Mother's Day breakfast there. I I recommend it. Quite good. We even grabbed a lovely Mother's Day photo op in one of their living rooms. Nice, right? But as I banged a Louie through the parking lot, a man on a bicycle 50 feet away decided I was coming for him in my VW Tiguan. Verbal abuse issued forth from his bike seat, and I was annoyed. And I said, "Relax, I'm not going to hit you." He did not like that. He followed me through the parking lot, yelling more abuse in my direction. My boys were asking, "What's he saying, Daddy?" And I parked. He stopped his bike right behind my bumper. And I was like, "Are you waiting for a behind the tire shop situation right now? Do I need to go into the IKEA and get my 6'4" brother who practices jujitsu? What's up?" So the bike man pedaled away, and I was like, wow, that could have been a lot worse. I felt an instinct to move the car, but I waved it away. I was like, nah, it'll be fine. Always listen to your instincts. Only to return to the car later, greeted by a 7-foot key gash all down the driver's side. I have to say, insurance, I'm from North Carolina, and the New Haven Police Department were prompt and helpful. Thank you. And what the actual? People are doing bonkers, hurtful things all over the place, and sometimes you find yourself synchronistically situated in the middle of Dookie Town. But here again, you cannot predict what is going to come flying at you. So stop trying to find the 7-step plan to guarantee ice cream sundaes and blue ribbons. Somebody on a bike is going to scream and swear at you, and when you pay them the human respect of being annoyed with their shenanigans, they're going to gouge your paint. And you're going to call insurance, call the police, and then go inside and get an IKEA hot dog and an ice cream cone. You can do it. But why is it crucial that you know this? Well, you tell me. Where is this one truth? There will be doo-doo, and you can take it. You can get through it. Where is this one truth going to serve you in your life? I'll tell you a story about my wife, Melissa, that will light up the answer for you. Last January, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. They caught it early, and her prognosis was good, and she had to go through some very rough diagnostic procedures, 2 lumpectomy surgeries, and a course of radiation. And there wasn't a paid leave plan for moms that we discovered. She managed her care, made sure there were folks to take care of our boys when she had to drive to Newton Wellesley Hospital every weekday, and somehow managed to keep our household running while I did my best to support her, us, and finished out the spring semester at the conservatory. We did not see this coming, and I have to tell you, I watched her navigate this with faith and joy. Her head was high, and she kept it real. She was wiped out, overwhelmed, and completely dedicated to getting better and being here for her family. And I wish you could have seen the look in her eyes when she'd say, "I'm not going anywhere. I have too much to live for." So she walked through her treatment with faith, trusting that God was taking care of her and holding her through it all. And we also discovered that we have a community around us, which was great news since we've only been in New England for 3 years. Folks brought food, watched the boys, and prayed for us. My colleagues at the conservatory gave us a DoorDash gift card, cash, and beautiful flowers. The music division sent chicken soup and cookies. In New England, it is so clear. Folks are like, "Shut up. I'm bringing 3 meals over on Tuesday. Be quiet." But Melissa had evidence. She had been through so many blindsides, heartbreaks, griefs, general bullshit, that she knew this was going to suck and she was going to walk through it. And she did, with grace and joy and peace and general badassery, I have to say. I am truly the most blessed, like jackpot. So what kind of adversity have you slogged your way through? I will bet you a cupcake it was a lot harder than getting your mixed belt coordinated or sending a postcard every 6 weeks to the casting director you want to call you in. I guarantee it's harder than writing your one-person show or crying because you didn't book the job you wanted so much and had multiple callbacks for. Being a storyteller is a challenge and a privilege, and you wouldn't be listening to me yammer on about this if that calling wasn't burning in your belly. So what's the thing you've been telling yourself you don't want to face? What's the hit you're afraid you might take? I guarantee you it's not the one you think you'll experience. It'll be some stupid surprise that'll be hard and an objective ass ache, but you'll walk through it. And you'll know you're walking into the direction of a reason you're here on the planet, something that feels like goodness, satisfaction, and purpose. Keep walking. And if you're like me, You've got a whole list of purposes and dreams, and sometimes you feel overwhelmed by all the things you want to do, so much so that you find yourself in paralysis, staring at too many choices. I made a video for you. How to know what to do with your life in 24 hours. It's the one with the dishwasher story. And remember, there is only one you, and somebody needs to hear the story only you can sing. You're somebody's Tabitha Brown. I'll see you in the next one.